Good morning, everyone.
Morning, Randy.
Looks like
Morning.
I see Maisha, Jazz, but that is it so far. Morning, Jazz.
Good morning.
And Jared, are you leading instead of Anna today?
I will be leading at least for the first hour or so, and then Anna should be in.
Okay. I sent her an email this morning. Did she send that to you? If not, I will forward it your way.
She did not, she has not been in, so please, yes, forward that my
Okay.
way.
It was about Tom Gorns' attendance, so we'll see if he joins or not.
Hey, just a question. Since we're not ready to start, should I put the Board of Zoning adjustment will begin shortly screen up again till we have all the board members?
Probably.
Okay.
Yes, do that.
Thank
Thank you.
Jared, can you message me your email address just so I can quickly send this to you?
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you. I will try calling Tom, and I don't know that I have Michael's phone number.
Looks like I just got an email from Michael, so I'll respond to him.
Oh, perfect. Okay. I just left a voicemail for Tom. His phone went straight to voicemail, so it didn't ring.
Sorry, I did step away for a second. I don't know if you were speaking to me, Randy, but I'm going to try to also call our legal counsel just to ensure that we also have them attend the meeting. because I don't see them joining yet.
Looks like we got Michael, but he's a second jazz.
Sorry about that, guys.
Oh, you're fine. We are still waiting on legal counsel and then Tom.
Sounds good.
Do we know if Maggie is not attending all day? I know initially she had some conflicts in the morning only.
I have not been made aware of how long she'll be unable to join for. but
Okay,
I think I can find out if you give me 1 second. I'll join up in a second. For anyone in the audience waiting, we're waiting on some board members and other required people before we can get started. So thanks for your patience.
I will try calling Maggie as well.
Meredith says that Maggie is out all day.
Okay, thank you.
Vice Chair, I do want to make mention that I do have a hard stop at 3:30.
Okay. I was hoping we wouldn't go until then, but
Yes, fingers crossed. But it's so great Wednesday.
I just tried calling Tom again and it still goes straight to voicemail. Do we have everybody else we need? I know this would not be a full quorum at this time, but I'll lean on city staff here on how we would like to proceed.
I think Jared stepped away for a second.
Okay.
I just got back in time to hear you say that, Connor. Thank you. Did someone ask me a question?
I have really good timing. I only ask you questions when you're not there. I tried calling Tom again. It went straight to voicemail.
Okay.
How would we like to proceed? I think if we've got Elward and we've got the court reporter, if applicants are willing to proceed with only 4 members of a quorum, is that how we want to proceed, or do we wait to give him more time? I'm not sure our best approach.
Okay. Anna did just walk in. I'll continue running the meeting until she's ready to go, but let me go ask what she would like to do in terms of waiting or
Perfect.
starting with that hard stop at 3:30. I want to make sure we respect everyone's time, but also their chance to be heard by a full board.
Right.
So one
Perfect.
moment.
Thank you.
Okay, I think we can just go ahead and get started, and if Tom joins us, that'd be fantastic. But if he doesn't, we'll just proceed as though he's not going to, and make sure that we have the consent of each applicant before their case that they want to proceed as a 4-member board.
Okay, perfect. Well, welcome everyone to the August 16th, 2024 Board of Zoning Adjustment hearing. Jared, please confirm that city staff and the court reporter are ready to begin and explain the rules and the procedures for this meeting.
We are all here and ready to go.
Before we start to review cases, I would like to swear in all city staff members who are presenting or testifying today. If you're online, please turn on your camera and microphone. See Larissa, Connor, Stephanie.
Believe
Alec.
Alec should be also getting sworn in.
Yes, I can.
There's Alec. And then is Matt part of this as well or not for these cases?
I don't believe Matt has a case today.
Okay, perfect. Can you all raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear or affirm to tell the truth and nothing but the truth during this meeting today?
Connor Tomlin, I do.
Jared Clements, I do.
Larissa Chambi, I do.
Stephanie Saldari, I do.
Alec Gustafson, I do.
Anna Naniski, I do.
Perfect. And then Jared, you're still running with this for a while?
Yeah,
okay.
I can, you want me to go through the virtual meeting procedures?
Yes, if you wouldn't mind.
All right, fantastic. Thank you. So I'm going to describe the procedure for this virtual meeting. There are 2 categories of people participating in this meeting today. Right now, the only there's panelists and there are attendees. Right now, the only panelists are the commission members and city staff. If you are an applicant or citizen who is interested in a case, you can use the raise hand function when the chair calls your case to let staff know that they should promote you to a panelist position. There's a ribbon at the bottom of the screen with a hand icon. Click this to raise your hand. When that promotion happens, you will need to accept the promotion. It will appear temporarily as if you've been disconnected. Do not panic. It will reconnect you shortly and you'll be in the meeting as a panelist. If you're joining us via the app or a phone or computer, please change your screen name to reflect your legal name. Understand that if you are calling with a phone number, you cannot adjust your screen name. You can still provide testimony though by raising your hand when the case is called by pressing the star key followed by 9. At the time of promotion, you need to turn your camera and microphone so the commission can see and hear you when it's your turn to speak. Your microphone needs to always be on mute unless you are giving testimony at the appropriate time. For those in person, that's from the hybrid meeting procedures. I'll go to the next part. All public testimony is subject to the following rules. BZA secretary or their designated representative will identify you when it is time for you to speak. You must be sworn in under oath to provide testimony. Applicants will receive 15 minutes for their presentation. You will be given 2 minutes of testimony if you represent a single interest, or 5 minutes if you represent an established organization. You will hear an alarm when your allotted time is over. Be respectful and wrap up your statement once you hear the alarm. No repetitive or irrelevant testimony should be given today. If you wish to admit exhibits, you need to have your exhibits ready to share on your screen and email those exhibits if admitted to the assigned planner for the case. And finally, the chat box is only for questions about the agenda. The merits of each case should not be discussed in the chat box. The Board of Zoning Adjustment can take breaks. There might be breaks throughout the day around 10:30, 12:30, and 3 if the meeting lasts until past 2 p.m. That is all, Chair.
Thank you. Can I turn it over and have you identify any continuances and or dismissals today?
Absolutely. We have 1 continuance and 1 dismissal. The continuance is docket item 26, BZA case CD BZA 2024-00087, which is a request to approve a variance to the minimum acreage to construct a detached house in an AGR zoning district, plus any additional variances on about 4.11 acres at 12000 Northwest Missouri 92 Highway. And the dismissals, there is 1 dismissal, docket item number 20, case number CDBZA 2024-00031. A request to appeal zoning violations related to a gravel parking area on about 2.3 acres generally located at 5631 East US 40 Highway.
Perfect. To the public, is there any public testimony for the continuances and or dismissals that were just identified by city staff?
I do not see anyone in the audience raising their hand.
All right. Board, any comments about those dismissals or continuances? If not, I would offer or accept a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve the continuance for docket number 6 and approve the dismissal for docket number 20.
I have a motion. Do I have a second? Oh, sorry, Jared.
I'm sorry to interrupt. It was just docket item 26, and I forgot to mention that that's a continuance to September 11th of 2024.
So I'll make a motion to accept the continuance for docket number 26 to the September 11th.
I'll
meeting.
second. Sorry.
Oh, and then I'll do a motion to accept the dismissal of docket number 20.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Jared, can you call the roll?
Absolutely. Mixdorf.
My last.
Oh, I'm sorry. Wright.
Aye.
Hayes.
Aye.
Meyer.
Aye.
Mixdorf.
Aye.
All right.
Perfect. Those are continued and dismissed. As a reminder to people providing testimony, we will have strict limits for time enforced by city staff. So I encourage you to be concise in your statements so we can get through all cases today. I think with that, as those online know, we currently only have 4 board members present. You are, as an applicant, entitled to have 5 board members, but we often do proceed with 4. If we proceed with 4 board members for your case, you do need to have all 4 members, an exception with fences, vote in support of your case to have it approved. City staff, would you like to add any other clarifying information in that regard?
I don't believe that I have any notes to add. I know that Anna has just messaged me that she is able to provide any additional info. She's ready to join the meeting, so if she has anything, I'll let her speak to that. Otherwise, I think that covers it.
Okay,
We'll just have, before every case is presented by city staff, we'll have the applicant acknowledge that they're consenting to 4 board members, or we can continue their case to a next appropriate date.
okay, thank you. So with that, let's call the first case.
All right, fantastic. So the first case is docket item number 16. This is case number CDBZA 2024-00093. It's a request to approve a variance to accessory structure standards in an R6 district to permit the location of a pool to be in the street side yard on the subject site, plus any additional variances on about 1.52 acres generally located at 6315 Ward Parkway. Would the applicant team raise their hand? Fantastic. I see an Adam Crowley that I'm promoting to panelist and a Dan Brown. And it looks like they have both accepted the promotion.
Mr. Brown and Mr. Crawley, can you turn on your cameras and microphones?
Good morning.
Good morning. And Mr. Crawley, do you have, there it goes. Perfect.
Morning.
Can I have you both raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear or affirm to tell the truth and nothing but the truth during this meeting today?
Yes.
Please state your names for the court reporter.
Dan Brown. Adam Crowley.
Thank you. And as I'm sure you just heard, we do only have 4 board members today. So if you would like to proceed with the 4 board members, we can do so. Or if you'd prefer to continue to another meeting, we can do that as well. How would you like to proceed?
Yeah, we'll proceed.
Perfect. Have you reviewed the staff report associated with your case?
Yeah.
Sorry,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
And do you have any issues with me admitting exhibits 1 through 9?
No.
Those will be admitted. And do we have anybody in the audience looking to provide public testimony?
Yes, we do. I have a Karen Westbury ready for testimony at the end.
Okay, thank you. And is she with you?
Yes.
Can we have her raise her right hand as well and administer the oath? Hi there. Do you solemnly swear or affirm to tell the truth and nothing but the truth during this meeting today?
I do.
And please state your name again for the court reporter.
My name is Karen, Karen, last name Westbury, West as in Thomas, B as in boy, Erry.
Thank you. Now I'll turn it over to city staff to present the case.
Okay, give me just a moment here. Are you able to see my presentation?
Yes.
Okay, fantastic. So we have docket item 16 today, CD BZA 2024-00093, located at 6315 Ward Parkway in an R6 zoning district. The applicant is seeking approval of a variance to the accessory structure pool siding standards to permit a pool in the street side yard plus any additional variances. This is the general location of the site. This is a closer look at the site itself, currently vacant. This is the site plan for the property. As you can see there in a lightly shaded blue on the south end is a pool. There are streets on 3 sides of the yard that greatly limits the what actually counts as the rear yard of the property. So this would technically fall within the street side yard. The variance request is a variance of complete deviation to the pool siding standards to permit a pool to be located on the street side yard of the subject site. A substantial change to the character of the neighborhood is anticipated. Properties with pools are generally compliant with placement and setback standards. However, it should be noted that, as I previously mentioned, the property has streets on 3 of its 4 sides, making it very limited to what actually counts as rear yard by code definition. The difficulty cannot be obviated through a change of design due to this. And with that, that completes my presentation.
Thank you, Connor. Board members, any questions for city staff? Not, we'll turn it over to the applicant. Mr. Brown or Mr. Crowley, who will be speaking today, or will both of you be speaking?
I will be.
Perfect. Why should we approve your request today?
Is there any way, we do have a quick little presentation. Is there any way to show a screen, share a screen?
Yes, yeah, I'll pull that up for you guys.
Awesome.
And so that will be admitted as exhibit 10.
Yeah, yeah, we appreciate you guys taking some time today. This is obviously a highly visible lot, an important site in the city. So we appreciate the diligence and want to make sure that we go through the proper channels to get this approved. So we appreciate the time. I think our case for the exception is really high level based on three things. One is we understand we need to prove hardship, and that I think is pretty clear through what Connor was saying. We have the three frontages along three sides of the street, which is really uncommon over most city lots. Therefore, making those three yards all of a front yard. And so, we've been working on this design for a little over a year, and have been going through this process. So that first acknowledgement that we need to prove that hardship is really based on the front yard setbacks being on three sides. The second thing we wanted to talk to you quickly about is the city process that we've gone through to get here. We have on, sorry, I'm putting up my notes just to make sure that I have my dates correct. On August 7th of last year, we went to the city park staff. Since we are on Parkway, they have jurisdiction over a lot of the decisions that we needed to make in order to design the home properly to be along the Parkway. And we discussed with them moving the front door to the 63rd Street side, which you can see here in this email. August 7th of last year was approved, which makes the front yard technically by definition the 63rd Street side. That's also in alignment with KCMO City Ordinance 82009 that the front yard of a corner lot was remeasured basically as adjacent to the street on which the lot has its lease dimension, which is also 63rd Street. So 63rd Street is technically, by all definitions, other than the fact that we do have two other facings, our front yard. And so in the design process, we did our best to put the pool in the most conspicuous location. As you can see from those photos, if you go back to page 3 for me real quick, Connor, I appreciate it. This is a heavily wooded lot, especially along that south edge. And so the pool is placed in an area where it would be the most private for the homeowner, but also the least visible from any street surrounding it. Also along the lowest impact visually from the two main streets, 63rd and Ward Parkway. The home was designed as an L shape to make sure that it addressed both of those streets and made sure that it feels like the front is on both of those streets, leaving us really with this facade along Greenway Terrace that we could put something that like a pool or an accessory structure. And so again, we requested through the city a number of times over the last year pre-app meetings and have not been granted those. They told us that we were not allowed to have pre-app meetings for our residents, and so we proceeded with the design. This is a site plan showing, again, trying to keep that pretty conspicuous. In our mind, whether the pool is in the project or not is not going to change the public's perception of the property once the home is complete. The pool is fully screened, set back from the street quite a distance, significantly more than the home itself. And we wanted to make sure that it provided privacy both for the homeowner and respected the nature of the existing lot. We will also be providing additional plantings back there to help screen all of the improvements. We really appreciate the nature of the the street along Greenway Terrace and how it's kind of a beautiful vegetated site right now, and we do want to maintain that. So we've actually gone in and supplemented some natural plantings, as you can see here, and then some heavy screening trees like a magnolia along the south edge. If you go to the next one, Connor. This is just an additional along the buffer zone between neighbors and between the street and the home. You can see additional screening trees and some natural vegetation, just to make sure again that we maintain that green buffer that the client loves, and one of the reasons that the lot was purchased in the first place. And then this is a rendered view of what that's going to look like along Greenway Terrace. It's kind of a silly view, and we almost didn't include it because it's just a bunch of trees. But it is meant to show that the experience of the public, especially driving down Ward Parkway and 63rd Street, and even for the neighbors that live across the street on Greenway Terrace, will not be adversely affected. And so, yeah, we just wanted to show that here in the presentation. The final point that we wanted to make is just precedent up and down Ward Parkway. We didn't want to call out any homes specifically, just out of respect for those homeowners. But there are a number of homes up and down Ward Parkway that have similar situations where pools are technically located in the side yard just because of the restrictions of living on such a kind of skinny lot and having relatively large property. And so we want to kind of appeal to reason there. There are many homes, and the only person that really reached out to our client, the homeowner, during this process, since we posted the BZA sign and it was posted online, was a homeowner in support of the project who has the exact same situation in their yard, where the pool technically resides in a side yard, but it's because of their site situation. So that's basically what we have. Again, I just want to assure everybody that there was the utmost care taken. We've been working on this design for over a year, really tried to check the boxes through the city process, and we believe that the nature of the site is requiring this variance request, and assure everybody that it's not just negligence on our part. We do think that this is the best solution for the community and for the residents.
Thank you. Board members, do you have any questions for the applicant? None?
Am I reading this correctly that the setback's about 50 feet from the right of way?
I believe so, yes.
Okay.
I believe it is the case.
And I do appreciate you explaining the process you've gone through to pick the site that you have for this pool to try to make it as least disruptive as possible. You'll understand having a street on three sides complicates this for you. If there's no other questions for the applicant, we can turn it over to Ms. Westbury.
Good morning. I had not counted on a 5-minute restriction on time, so I'm going to be speaking as abbreviated as I am able to.
Are you speaking on the behalf of a neighborhood association or as an individual?
No, it is just myself.
Then that is 2 minutes, actually. Individual testimony is 2 minutes, neighborhood association is 5.
Okay. I do not believe that the notice requirement was affected. I spoke with planning, both Connor and Anna, and they both expressed an awareness of the problems with the mail situation. Secondly, I do not believe Dan Brown complied with the requirements of notice, posting of the courtesy notice. It was posted on 63rd, not Ward Parkway, and not on Greenway. The instructions say posted on all right-of-ways. And so, and it was just not conspicuous. So I will proceed on with the substantive issues that I have. It is not a matter that the applicant cannot build his home and have the amenities that he seeks. I have lived in my house since 1991, at a time when Richard and Annette Block of H&R Block fame had their house still standing. They had a home as large as mine. Mine's 4,000 square feet. They had a large full-size pool, a cabana, a large fountain with statuary, and they had a tennis court. All of these are visible on the Compass KC aerial view of the site for years 2006 and 2008. I think it is a matter that he is wanting to take full advantage of the amount of property that he has. He had over 1.5 acres there. This was not a problem for the Blocks. They were able to get their pool in the backyard and do so with ample room for it was a circular driveway in the back with the very large fountain, large enough for me to be able to see that fountain across the street while sitting at my dining room table. So I do believe that if the zoning variance is granted, it will affect the aesthetic value and characteristics of the neighborhood. I am unfamiliar with the home that the Dan or whoever alluded to with the pool on the side yard. I would like to say that in 2012, Ward Parker was named a great street in the American Planning Association's annual list of great places in America, citing the passion for both citizens and city government to maintain the parkway, and it has allowed it to remain one of the area's most coveted, addressed with historic homes, neighborhood parks, picturesque fountains, and ornamental monuments. The applicant bought that site and paid a premium for its location, in part perhaps because of the size, but in part because of Ward Parkway. The residents that live in that area are assessed taxes at a higher rate because of the placement along Ward Parkway. So it does matter what he does on his property. It's not just affecting his property, it's affecting his neighbors, it's affecting future residents.
Ms. Westbury, do you have one final statement? I gave you a little extra time, but if you've got one closing.
I am just, okay, in closing, I'm requesting that the board decline the applicant's request for a zoning variance because the applicant failed to comply with the requirement that the courtesy notice be posted on all right-of-ways. 2, that the city acknowledged mail delivery problems but failed to request a continuance prior to this morning. And 3, because the plans will result in a fundamental change to the neighborhood as stated in Connor Tomlin's staff report, page 2. A fundamental change threatens the character and aesthetic appeal and value.
Thank you, Ms. Westbury. City staff, when we have the posting of a notice, for most applicants, they only have one roadway to post said notice on. Are they given 3 signs to post, or how does this work when there are multiple street frontages?
So I have never had a case that's had multiple street frontages. I'm not sure if Anna is able to provide that clarification.
We do commonly only hand out one sign for each case.
Okay.
88-56505C, it's called courtesy posted notice, and it says that a sign must be visible from each abutting public right-of-way. So it is possible, depending on the layout, that no matter where the sign is posted, it could be seen from each right-of-way. That discretion is up to the property owner to provide and, show good faith in that in the affidavit that they provide that they posted the sign.
Okay. Thank you for that clarification.
Can I just, we only received one sign, and so we posted, and it was just a piece of plexi, so we posted it on a piece of on some wood. We made a wood backing, placed it along 63rd Street because that's where the front door and front yard is, and we figured that would be in most compliance. We confirmed with Connor that would be okay, as that would be the place to put that sign, and so that is where we placed it along 63rd Street. It has to be within 10 feet of the property line. Most prominent place probably would have been like in the middle of the lot, but it would have been too small to see. And so the place that was in most compliance, as and again we had this approved, was along 63rd Street, 10 feet from the parking lot.
Thank you for that. Board members, do you have any questions? I appreciate Ms. Westbury's comments, but I also feel like a lot of work has been done to minimize the impact of this pool, and considering there are 3 streets, that does give you a hardship that others do not have in their backyard. So I appreciate the information that's been presented. If there are no other questions, I'd entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion. For docket item 16, case 93, I recommend we approve the applicant's request in accordance with the staff report and site plan.
I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Jared, please call roll. Or Anna?
Sorry, I was muted. Wright,
Aye.
Hayes,
Aye.
Meyer,
Aye.
Mixdorf.
Aye. Your application is approved.
Motion.
Good luck with your project.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Anna, please call the next case.
We have docket item 17. This is case CD BZA 2024-79. This is a request to approve a variance to the rear setback to allow for a deck to encroach on the rear setback, plus any other needed variances in an R6 zoning district, that's residential zoning district, on about 0.19 acres, currently located at 13307 Summit Street. Stephanie Saldari is the staff planner associated with this case. This is a reminder for the applicant team to please raise their hand on Zoom now so we can admit you into the meeting.
Yeah. Is there a Brian Casper logged on?
See Brian's iPad, so I'm going to try that.
Okay.
If everyone online can please change their username to their legal name and which case or docket number they're interested in, that would help with the promotion process. Brian is connected.
Hi, Brian. Do you have a camera you can turn on? It looks like you are muted as well. Perfect. Thank you. Can I have you raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear or affirm to tell the truth and nothing but the truth during this meeting today?
Yes, I do.
Please state your name for the court reporter.
Brian Casper.
Thank you. And as you may be aware, we only have 4 board members today. Would you like to proceed with the 4-member quorum?
Yes.
Okay, we will proceed. Have you reviewed the staff report associated with your case?
Yes.
And do you have any issues with me admitting exhibits 1 through 9?
No.
Those will be admitted. Is there any public testimony regarding this case?
No one else has raised their hand.
All right. With that, we'll turn it over to Stephanie to present the case.
All right. So we got docket item 17, CDBCA 2024-79, located on 13307 Summit Street, zoned R-6, and the applicant is seeking a variance to permit a deck to encroach on the rear setback. All right, so the subject site is located right at the southernmost tip of Kansas City. Highlighted in yellow is the subject site. Here are pictures of the existing deck that is to be expanded. All right, so here is the site plan. As you can see, everything, so the current deck is about, the deck to be expanded is going to be about almost 9 feet from the property line. And the rear setback should be 20 feet. But the house is at 20 feet. So here are some renderings of the deck, a 19 by 12 foot deck. So this variance is for 11.14 feet to the setback for features allowed to encroach into the required setback to permit a rear setback of 8.86 feet on the subject site. So for features allowed to encroach on the setback, for decks, they need to have at least 20 feet between the rear property line and the deck. So a change to the character of the neighborhood is not anticipated. There are at least 7 rear setback variances in the surrounding properties. The difficulty cannot be obviated by change in design because, like I said, the code requires the deck to be set back at least 20 feet from the rear property line, but the house was built at that 20 feet. So this is applicant submittal of other variances around the neighborhood, and this is from Parcel Viewer. So all these cases that have the A in them are previous rear setback variances. And that concludes my presentation.
Thank you, Stephanie.
Mhm.
Board members, any questions for city staff?
So the existing deck is non-compliant because of the setback, I assume, and the applicant is just wanting to expand the deck.
Correct.
Okay.
There are no other questions for city staff. We'll go to Mr. Casper. Why should we approve your variance today?
When they built that neighborhood, there was 160 variances pulled for the whole entire neighborhood. I mean, they just kind of, I don't know, put them all in there, I guess, and got all these variances. The customer wants to make the deck bigger because he can't have a family dinner out on his 10 by 12 deck because he can't put a 4-foot table there and have people walk around, or a wheelchair able to go around the table without someone getting back up and kind of pushing their chair in and all that. So that's why we requested an extra 2 feet just to be able to move around while people are still sitting down.
Have you received any comments from neighbors regarding this?
No, the homeowner walked around to everybody, and everybody he walked to didn't have a problem with it at all. And I know letters were sent as well.
It seems like these are very shallow lots, and the fact that the house is already kind of at that lot line, I do understand your difficulty there. But board members, do you have any other questions? If not, I would entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion. Docket item 17, case number 79. Recommend we approve the applicant's request in accordance with staff report and site plan.
I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Anna, please call the roll.
Right.
Aye.
Hayes,
Aye.
Meyer,
Aye.
McIntosh.
Aye. Your project is approved. Good luck.
Thank you.
Anna, please call the next case.
Docket number 18, case CD BZA 2024-84. This is a request to approve a variance in an R7.5 zoning district, that's a residential zoning district, to permit a front setback that is closer than the platted setback, plus any additional variances on about 0.31 acres, generally located at 901 West 114th Terrace. Connor Tomlin is the staff planner associated with this case. I see a member of the applicant team raising their hand. Reminder for anyone else who wishes to provide public testimony to please raise their hand now so we can admit you into the public hearing. Okay,
What was that, Anna?
first person, Kevin Fox, he's connected. And sorry, scrolling. Joe Fox, I believe they're both a part of the applicant team. And then there's a Bethany.
This is Joe. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And a Brian.
Yes, this is Bethany.
Okay, is that everyone, Anna?
I believe so.
Okay, can I have you all turn your cameras on? Do you have a camera available? I see Joe Fox, I see Bethany,
Brian.
I see Brian.
Yeah.
And Kevin. Perfect. Can I have you all raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear or affirm to tell the truth and nothing but the truth during this meeting today?
I do.
Please each state your name for the court reporter.
Kevin.
Right.
Joe.
Bethany Dyke.
Brian Dyke.
Kevin, you're muted.
Kevin, can you unmute and state your name? And Joe, can you state your name as well?
Joseph Fox.
Thank you.
Kevin Fox.
Perfect. Thank you all. And are you aware that we only have 4 board members today? Are you okay to proceed with only 4 board members? If you'd like 5 board members, we would need to continue to another month.
Okay with 4.
Okay, we'll proceed. Have you reviewed the staff report associated with your case?
Yes.
Do you have any issues with exhibits 1 through 9?
No.
Those will be admitted. Anna, there is nobody else listed for public testimony. Nobody else is raising their hand. You're muted, Anna. If not, we will.
Sorry, me.
You're good. I just want to make sure there's nobody else that needed to be admitted for public testimony.
No, you're correct. No one else is raising their hand.
Perfect. We'll turn over to city staff to present the case.
All right, can everybody see my screen?
Yes.
Awesome. So we have docket 18, CD BZA 2024-00084, located at 901 West 114th Terrace. This is in an R75 zoning district. The applicant is seeking approval of a variance to the front property setbacks to permit a new home to be built 5 feet closer to the front property line than the platted setbacks allow, plus any additional variances as needed. This is the general location of the site. This is a closer look at the site itself. This is the plan that was provided. This is the plat for this neighborhood. There's a 35-foot platted front setback that stretches across this entire area. This is an easement. I'll allow the applicant to speak more to that once I finish my presentation. The variance request is 5 feet to the platted front setback to permit a front setback of 30 feet on the subject site. The variation is 5 feet in total. A substantial change to the character of the neighborhood is anticipated. Homes in this area appear to be in conformance with that 35-foot platted build line front setback. The difficulty could be obviated through a change of design, and that concludes my presentation.
Thank you, Connor. Board members, any questions for city staff? Seeing none at this time, I will turn it over to the applicant. Why should we approve your request today?
The existing house is referred to commonly as the Barstow House. It was owned by the Barstow School, but this property adjoins the Barstow School. And it's expected that my son, Joe, who works at Barstow, he was the principal, now he's the director of admissions, and his 3 children all go to Barstow, so it would be a very convenient situation for them to literally walk out the back door and walk to work or school. The property is 140 feet deep by 100-foot wide. There's a gas main that runs right smack through the backyard. That required a 65-foot rear easement for the gas company. And the front yard has a 35-foot build line, which takes 100 feet of usable space away from this lot, leaving 40 foot. The plan is to demolish the existing house, put up a new house. The footprint for the new house is 50 feet, hence 10 feet short. I went to the gas company, Spire, and got them to approve a 5-foot relaxation in the rear 65-foot easement. So now the usable space is 45 feet. Hence the reason I'm here today. I'm asking for a variance to go 5 feet closer to the street. Now, as I understand it, the zoning requirements are 30 feet. It's currently 35. I just want to go to 30 feet. And the reason I can't just do that is because the original plat from when the neighborhood was developed in the 60s shows a 35-foot build line. So I'm asking for a variance to relax that 35-foot build line to 30 feet, which would still satisfy the zoning requirements. And a number of the houses on the street are 30 foot, like the house right across the street. I'd say pretty much all of the corner lot houses are 30-foot setback now. And we have been talking to the HOA board this whole process, and they've called all the immediate neighbors, and they did submit a letter stating that they're not opposed to it. In fact, if the board approves it, then they'll support it. So that's pretty much everything. I can't move the house back any further. I was lucky to get 5 feet from the gas company. Otherwise, the simplest thing would have just been to move the house back 10 feet. But I did get 5, which was more than I initially expected. Hence, I'm here looking for 5 additional feet to the front.
I do have the letter from the Foxcroft Homes Association. If you'd like me to share my screen, I can share the letter if you don't have it, because I didn't see it in Connor's documents.
Is that letter notarized?
Don't have it notarized. I could email it to Connor. Connor, do you have that letter?
I do not.
I think I uploaded it to the application a couple of weeks ago.
One of the requirements is notarized letters for us to review them as a board, but we appreciate that information. Board members, do you have any questions for the applicant? City staff, could you bring up either partial viewer or one of your initial images again, just to see more of the context of this site versus adjacent homes?
Sure. Would you like me to just use this, or would you like me to move over to parcel viewer?
I think this is sufficient. I was just trying to gauge the setback there in relation to the other homes. Okay. Thank you. With that, we can move to Brian and Bethany.
Yes, thank you. I'll try to be brief. If you could go back to that image really quickly for us, that would be really helpful. Thank you. My husband, Brian, and I live in the house on the corner to the right that you can see that's on the corner 114th and Summit. I'm an architect here in Kansas City. I do these types of things all the time. And we are actually part of the Verona Hills Homeowners Association, so we would not have been invited to any of the Foxcroft information that went on. So we have had no input to date on this. We don't think this is a good idea for the same reason that city staff doesn't. It does make a substantial change in character in setting a precedent in taking away our estate front yards that all line up at this moment at the 35 feet. And we would like to protest this as something we don't think is necessary. As an architect, I'm aware of how much you can take out of a space in a house. So I think that it's possible to do so.
Thank you, Bethany. Brian?
I concur with what she said. I think it will be disruptive to the character of the neighborhood. Having a house pushed out 5 foot in front of everything else that's lined up will be disruptive.
Thank you, Brian. Kevin, have you guys explored any other designs that did meet the 35-foot setback? It looks like we don't have any finalized plans or anything. I see more of just a sketch at this point in time, so I don't quite know where you're at in your design process.
Yeah, I couldn't really submit a final drawing because I haven't contracted with a builder yet because I don't know the usable area that I have. But I mean, houses in that neighborhood are probably around 500,000, and I paid 3.25 for the house that sits on that lot. So when I add in a $200 a square foot, which is very low construction cost, this house will probably come in at 900,000 to $1 million in a neighborhood that's worth 500,000. So I'm not saying it's an economically smart decision, but as I mentioned, it's not an investment for us. My son's going to live there with his family. And I guess I could hire an architect and pay them to design a house that would fit on 45 feet. So it's not a matter of like, I can't build a new house there. I can. It's just I'm trying to keep the cost down because of the neighborhood. And the builder that we've chosen has a standard house they've already built. So it wouldn't be any custom design work. They could merely build the house that they've already built and not have to make any design changes to the blueprints. And the builder himself is familiar with the construction, so that would help keep the cost down. So if I don't get the approval today, I mean, an option is to go to a 45-foot custom design house, but that might just push me out of push me up higher into a total cost. And at that point, I don't know if I would do it. I may just sell the house, but the houses in the neighborhood are all like 60-ish years old. Barstow never really did anything to this house. I mean, it probably needs a couple $100,000 of work. I imagine a lot of other houses in the neighborhood are going to be like this. And I did mention that there are a number of houses you can see on the plat drawing that it's a 30-foot setback, especially like the house right across the street has a 30-foot setback. So if you look at that plat drawing, if you have a magnifying glass, you can read it, but otherwise you'll see that I think most of the corner lots on that street are 30 foot. So what I'm asking for is not that drastic a change from what's already there.
All right. Thank you, Kevin. I'm just one board member, but I see this as a preference and not a hardship. And since we don't have a finalized design, and just because you prefer a specific layout from a builder that may already be designed, I don't know that it warrants the adjustment in the setback if the other homes in that area already meet that setback, and if there aren't other designs that have already been explored to prove why you cannot meet those requirements. Board members, any other comments or questions? I would entertain a motion.
Sure, I'll make a motion. On docket item 18, case number 84, I move that we deny the request for the variance.
I have a motion. Do I have a second? There is no second, then that motion fails. Do I have another motion?
I want to suggest a motion that we continue the case to allow the applicant to hire an architect to redo a different design.
Mr. Fox, Kevin, and Joe, would you entertain that aspect, a continuance to come up with a design, or do you believe if you come up with a different design, you do not need a variance?
Yeah, I think if I have to come up with a different design, then I won't be here. I could just have a house design that will fit within that usable space. So I appreciate that, but I don't really think I would need to do that.
Should you have another motion then?
Then I will entertain the original motion of denying the variance.
Okay, so that's a motion. Then do I have a second?
Second.
Okay, Anna, please call the roll.
Right?
Aye.
Hold on. Okay. Hayes,
Aye.
Meyer,
I think he said aye. I couldn't hear you, Michael, but I saw your mouth move.
and Mixdorf.
Aye. Your case is denied. Anna,
Thank you.
please call the next case. Yes, thank you.
Okay.
Have a good day.
Docket item 19, case CD BZA 2024-102. This is a request to approve a variance to infill particular standards to permit a front-facing garage plus any additional variances on about 0.23 acres, generally located at 11 West 59th Street. Connor Tomlin is the staff planner associated with this case. I see the applicant has raised their hand. Thank you for adding your case number into your username. This is and the property owner. If there's anyone else who wishes to provide public testimony on this particular item, please raise their hand now so we could admit you into the hearing. Seeing none, the applicant and the property owner are connected.
Perfect. I see Matthew and I see a box for Rafiq, but I don't see a face yet. Mr. Saad, can you please turn on your camera if you have one available? I see his hand raised. You are muted, sir.
Good morning. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. Do you have a camera available?
I have camera and for some reason it's not working.
If not, if you agree or confirm that you will be raising your right hand as I administer the oath, we can proceed as such.
Yes, please.
Okay, please raise your right hands. Do you solemnly swear or affirm to tell the truth and nothing but the truth during this meeting today?
I do.
Please each state your name for the court reporter.
Rafiq Saad.
Rafiq Saad and Matthew, you are muted. Perfect, thank you. And Matthew, you are a little quiet.
It's Friday.
Perfect, okay. As you are aware, we only have 4 board members today. Do you want to proceed with the 4 board members on your case? Or do you want to continue to another month to have 5 board members?
We'll proceed, please.
Proceed, okay. And have you reviewed the staff report associated with your case?
I didn't met you, did you?
Yes.
Okay, and do you have any issues with us admitting exhibits 1 through 9?
No issues.
All right, those will be admitted. Anna, are there any members of the public wishing to testify?
No one else has raised their hand.
All right, well, we'll turn it over to city staff to present the case.
All right. Today we have docket 19, CD BZA 2024-00102, located at 11 West 59th Street. This is R6, also Warnell Homestead Overlay -6. The applicant is seeking approval of a variance to the infill vehicular use standards to permit an attached garage visible from the street, plus any additional variances. As always, on infill lots, I provide a brief overview of the pertinent information to the variance request. This is specific to the vehicular use standards in the infill section of code 88-11007E subsection B. Attached garages visible from the street shall be permitted only when 51% or more of homes in the infill residential context area have attached garages visible from the street. This is the general location of the site. This is a closer look at the site itself. This is an image of the context area for infill. And then you'll see that green line along the front property lines there. That is the context area. As previously mentioned, 51% or more would need to or would be needed to permit this outright. 50% is what we were seeing at this location. So they're just under that threshold. This is the site plan. You may be able to zoom in a bit more on the staff report to have a better look at it. This is another closer look at the plan for the attached garage. These are some elevations of the proposed addition of the garage. And then I have just some additional 3D renderings of that elevation as well. The variance request is a variance of complete deviation to the infill vehicular use standards to permit an attached garage visible from the street on the subject site. A substantial change to the character of the neighborhood is anticipated. The contest area for this specific property does not permit an attached garage visible from the street. The difficulty could be obviated through a change of design, and that completes my presentation.
Thank you, Connor. Board members, any questions for city staff? Just one question, Connor. So if this was not attached, a two-car garage would be permitted. It's because it's attached that we have this issue.
Yeah, and that it's visible from the street. If it were rear loaded, it would be different, but I'm not sure. I'll let the applicant speak to that if the space is even available for that to be possible.
Okay, thank you. We'll turn it over to the applicant then. Why should we approve your request today?
Yeah, we're simply removing the existing garage right on the property line that is too small and it take up a lot of space on what's already not a large backyard. The new garage accommodates modern cars and it's further from the property line.
Thank you. Matthew, do you have other comments to add as well? You are muted.
To add things, we did look at doing a detached garage, two-car detached garage for side loading that garage, and there just isn't room with the shape of the site without taking up essentially the entirety of the backyard. Because of the shape of this lot, the backyard is already pretty small, so that existing garage, to expand that existing garage and do a two-car detached garage would put it too close to the house for an accessory structure. So we're a little bit hemmed in the back there. There's an existing retaining wall right on the property line, and that existing single-car garage sits right up against that existing retaining wall. So we're adding this attached garage as small as we can fit it and still have it fit the two cars. So that puts us just a little bit over 5 feet from the property line. The house to the west has a front-facing garage that is closer to the front yard setback. We tried to push ours as far back as we could and make it work from a design standpoint. So while it is front-facing, it's a little over 30 feet from that front yard setback. And the existing house does have a wall around the front, so that front garage, you know, while it is visible from the street, it isn't as if we're pushing that right up to the front yard setback. So we're trying to fit it in the context as well as we can. We're matching all of the existing detailing. The existing house has some fantastic architectural detail, and we're matching that on the addition as well, and keeping that garage at a single story to make it as unobtrusive as we possibly can. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Board members, any questions for the applicant? If not, I would entertain a motion.
On docket item 19, case number 102, I move that we grant the request for the variance in accordance to staff report.
I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Anna, please call the roll.
Right?
Aye.
Hayes,
Aye.
Meyer,
Aye.
Nixdorf.
Aye. Your plan is approved. Good luck with your project.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Anna, please call the next case.
And 21, case CD BZA 2024-89. This is a request to approve a variance to the infill lot and building standards to increase the front setback plus any other needed variances on an R5 zoning district. This is a residential zoning district on about 1.45 acres, generally located at 5210 Northeast 49th Street. Stephanie Saldari is the staff planner associated with this case. We've got the property owner online, and I am admitting them.
Yeah.
I'm assuming it's Riley. This is a reminder for anyone else who wishes to provide public testimony. Please raise your hand. I see one member of public testimony, Roy.
I see Riley. And I see Roy as well. Roy, can you turn on your camera and microphone? I believe Roy's microphone is now on. Do you have a camera, sir? If not, we can proceed if you testify that your right hand is raised. Oh. Okay, can I have you both raise your right hands? Do you solemnly swear or affirm to tell the truth and nothing but the truth during this meeting today?
I do.
Roy? Roy, are you available? Please say I do and state your name for the court reporter, Roy.
Roy, you may need to exit the meeting and come back.
If he is doing that, we will swear him in again when he rejoins. Miss Barling, can you state your name for the court reporter?
Riley Barling.
Thank you. Have you reviewed the staff report associated with your case?
I have.
Do you have any issues with us admitting the exhibits?
I do not.
So exhibits 1 through 9 will be admitted. Anna, and there are no other members of the public for testimony beyond Roy?
Nope, no one else has raised their hand.
All right, we will turn it over to the staff planner to
Oh,
present.
don't forget the four-person consent.
Oh, thank you. Sorry. Yes. As you have noticed, we only have 4 board members today. Would you like to proceed with the 4 board members or continue for another month until we have 5 board members?
Proceed.
We will proceed with 4 members. Thank you. Stephanie, whenever you're ready.
All right. So we got docket item 21, CDBCA 2024-89, located on 5210 Northeast 49th Street, zoned R-5, and the applicant is seeking a variance to the reduced conventional standards to permit a larger front setback due to an 80-foot long gully at the front of the property. And this should actually say infill front setbacks, because when I reviewed it, there is a context area. Okay. So the subject site is located just southeast of Gladstone. Highlighted in yellow is the lot. Right now it sits vacant and heavily forested. Okay, so for infill, again, context area, any lots within 200 feet of the subject site on the same side of the street, and you need at least 3 developed lots to be part of the context area. The front setback range, so the front setback for the new build cannot be less or greater than the front setbacks provided by the existing buildings in the context area. So these are the 3 buildings in the context area. Their setbacks range from 36 to 43 feet. So here is the proposed house. The proposed setback is just over 86 feet. And as you can see here, this is the existing gully. So here are some pictures of the lot now. It's a little hard to see the gully, but this gives you an idea of what's there. And for the variance request, this is a variance of 49 feet and 4.5 inches to the infill lot and building standards to permit a 92-foot and 4.5 front setback on the subject site. The requirement is at least or at most of 43 feet. A change to the character of the neighborhood is anticipated since this setback is much larger than the other houses in the context area. However, the difficulty cannot be obviated due to the large gully at the front of the property, so the house cannot be built at the permitted setback. And that concludes my presentation.
Thank you, Stephanie. So for clarification, since the south side of the property is the shorter side, that is considered the front.
Yes,
And
this
the
would be.
and the applicant is meeting the 43-foot setback on the west side of the street, but since
Yes.
okay, going from the south.
Yeah, yeah, this is the street side yard.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay. Board members, any other questions for city staff? If not, we'll turn over to the applicant. Why should we approve your request today?
If I cannot move the front setback, then I cannot build a house on this lot, even though it's listed as residential. So it's pretty straightforward, but if you have any questions, I'm happy to answer them.
Okay, thank you. Board members, any questions for the applicant? It looks like Roy was able to join us. Can I swear you in, sir?
Yes, can you see me?
Yes. Do you solemnly swear or affirm to tell the truth and nothing but the truth during this meeting today?
I do.
And please state your name for the court reporter.
Roy Ley, Ley.
Perfect, thank you. And are you here in support or opposition of this request?
In support, I'm just helping her with the drawings and the building permit. So if you have any questions, I'm happy to answer them.
Perfect. Yes, this existing gully is a very not normal site condition we see for most housing applicants. So I do understand the issue you have at play there. And I do appreciate that on the west side of the street, you are conforming to those standards, the 43-foot that are required for the rest of the neighborhood. Board members, do you have any other questions? If not, oh, yes, go for it, Jess.
I don't have any questions. I was just gonna say, yeah, I mean, it's a pretty big obstacle. And it seems like what's technically the side yard seems like a pretty reasonable front yard. So on that note, I'll make a motion on docket item 21, case number 89. I move that we grant a request in accordance with staff report.
I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a second from Ms. Wright. Anna, please call the roll.
That was Wright.
Aye.
Hayes.
Aye.
Meyer.
Aye.
McStorff.
Aye. Your project is approved. Good luck.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anna, please call the next case.
22. This is case CD BZA 2024-101. This is a request to approve a variance to the front and rear yard setbacks for one lot, plus any additional variances on about 0.95 acres, generally located at 14404 East 49th Terrace. Alec Gustafson is the staff planner associated with this case. We've got the applicant online. I am promoting Chris now. Thank you for adding your case number into your username. This is a reminder for anyone else who wishes to provide public testimony on this item to please raise their hand now so we can admit you in the public hearing. Chris is connected. Looks like we have, sorry, there's one, yep, there's one public testimony. The property owner is also online. Kendrick Johnson.
I see Chris Woods' camera. It looks like there are two people present there. I see a box for Kendrick. If you could turn your camera and microphone on.
Hello.
And another individual. Okay. Can I have you all raise your right hand?
Raise your hand down.
Do you solemnly swear or affirm to tell the truth and nothing but the truth during this meeting today? I do. Please each state your name for the court reporter. Kendrick?
Kendrick Johnson.
Chris Woods?
Chris Woods.
And the other individual in the room with you?
Yes.
Steve Woods. I'm just helping my dad with the Zoom.
Thank you. And last, yes? Please state your name.
Hello,
Yes, please state your name. It doesn't.
William Whalen.
Thank you. All right. Mr. Woods and Mr. Johnson, have you reviewed the staff report associated with your case?
We have. Yes.
Do you have any issues with me admitting the exhibits 1 through 9?
No.
Those will be admitted. Before we proceed, as you are aware, we only have 4 board members. So at this time, you can proceed with the 4 board members and hear your case today, or if you'd like 5 members on the board, we can continue your case to another month. How would you like to proceed?
I'm okay with going today.
Okay, we will continue with 4 board members today. And Anna, there's no other members of the public wishing to testify?
No one else has raised their hand.
All right, we will turn it over to city staff to present the case. Alec, we cannot hear you. Looks like we're changing out some technology. We still cannot hear you, Alec.
Is that blonde here?
No, she's there, but she's with the board member.
I see.
Oh no. They just fixed it.
Appreciate your patience as we get technology figured out. Sometimes it's easy and sometimes it's a little more complicated than it needs to be.
You guys cannot hear me now.
Here, now we can hear you.
Oh, you can? Okay, I will go to a separate room really quickly.
Uh-oh.
Alex appears frozen on my screen.
Yes.
Good, you can hear me and everything?
Yes, we can hear you and see you.
Okay, perfect. I will share my screen.
Thank you.
And you all can see this as well now.
Yes.
Okay.
No.
Kendrick, you said no or yes?
Yeah, no, I can't say. My screen is black for some reason.
Gotcha. Okay. Well,
go ahead though.
If the board can hear, we will continue. Today we have docket item number 22, CD BZA 2024-101. The location is 14404 East 49th Street, or Terrace. It is zoned R1.5, and it is a request to approve a variance to the rear setback on about 195 acres located at 14404 East 49 Terrace. This is the general location of the site. It is just south of Independence and east of Raytown. We are looking at lot number 7 today. And this is just the general location. It is on the cul-de-sac of East 49 Terrace. Here's the site plan. It is for the rear setback. The setback is 25 feet per R1.5 standards, lot and building standards. It's typically between 25% of the lot depth or 25 feet. The lot depth is larger than the 25, so we go with what is less, which is the 25 feet setback, and that is what we assess the variance based on, which is 5-foot build line. Here is the south and east view of the home. This is on a fairly steep grade, so it has a lower facing garage, and it has grading near the back of the house. Here's the north and west views of the property. And the variance is 7 feet 2 inches to the rear yard setback to permit 17 and 10 inches rear yard setback on the subject site. The variation is 7 feet 2 inches, which is a 28.6 decrease from the rear setback requirement. And a substantial change to the character of the neighborhood is not anticipated. However, the home could be moved forward to more accurately conform to the rear yard setbacks, but they may be out of compliance for front yard setbacks. So what the animal is just choosing to go with a variance to the rear yard setback rather than a variance to both. And that concludes my staff report, and I'm happy to answer any questions.
Board members, any questions for city staff? If not, we'll turn it over to the applicant. Why should we approve your request today?
I'm looking to this neighborhood. I saw these lots for a while, and I noticed that they had been sitting without anyone doing anything on there. And what I've come to understand or believe is the odd shape of the lots is what causes not to be able to actually put a conforming house on here or attract anyone to build. So I wanted to be able to provide some housing, something affordable, and something that was economically good to be in this neighborhood. And I'm hoping that you'll allow me this opportunity to do that here.
Thank you. Mr. Woods, did you have any comments?
Really not. We're looking forward to building there. That's I'll just let the drawings and everything speak for themselves. It is the odd shaped lot that the trapezoid shape is almost impossible to work around and not violate it somehow.
Also, what I did notice is as I researched all the lots, the previous houses, I'll say to the west of lot 7, the 2 previously built homes already have variances on them. And the lots prior, these lots were already approved for variances at one time.
Thank you for that information. Mr. Whalen, are you here in support or opposition of this project?
If it's a single family home, I am not in opposition, but it must be a single family home. I have the covenants and restrictions for Cardinal Ridge Plat 2 state that it's for single family homes only. I don't wish to have any apartment buildings, any multiple family homes, anything like that.
Mr. Johnson,
No, that and my goal is the single family homes in that neighborhood can stay in conforming. I've even designed the house to complement what's prior to being there, so that I conform to what was already going on.
I would have no objections to that.
And looking at the floor plan, it does look like a single entry and not a multifamily project.
Yes, I didn't know what the variance was for. That's why I'm here.
We appreciate you attending.
Thank you.
So it appears that the variance, just looking at the at the site plan, it appears that the variance for the setback is primarily due to the deck. Is that correct?
Yeah. From what I'm understanding, yes. We tried to position this property several different ways, and I think that no matter what, you're going to run across that because the setback in the front is so far.
Board members, any other questions? Mr. Hayes, did you have any other questions? Have you tried, I guess the deck will be a problem regardless. It looks like a small corner of the house and the northwest side is also overlapping. I didn't know if there's any availability to adjust the plan at all to bring that into conformance, or due to any site constraints, this is the best location possible.
We tried many times to rotate it, and if you rotate it to the left, we've honored the front setback is what we've done.
Mhm.
And if you rotate this exact plan to the left, it actually gets worse. If you rotate it to the right, then we start violating the side yard setbacks. And I think the location that we have is just about as comfortable as we could make it.
All right, thank you for that. Board members, if I don't have any other questions, I would entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion for docket number 22, case number 101. I'd like to make a motion that we approve the variance.
I'll second.
I have a motion and a second. Anna, please call the roll.
Right?
Aye.
Hayes,
Aye.
Meyer,
Aye.
Mixdorf.
Aye. Your project is approved. Good luck.
Thank you so much.
Anna, please call the next case.
We have docket item 23. This is case CD BZA 2024-97. This is a request to approve a variance to surface parking requirements along a boulevard. It's for the Boulevard and Parkway standards on about 2.4 acres, generally located at Northwest Tiffany Springs Parkway and Interstate 29. Larissa Chomby is the staff planner associated with the case. And it looks like the applicant is online, of course, but they've raised their hand. So I'm admitting Caitlin. This is a reminder for anyone who wishes to provide public testimony on this item to please raise their hand now. We're looking at one more hand that's raised.
I see Caitlin.
And May is also connected.
And May. May, do you have a camera that you can turn on?
Can you hear me?
Oh, yes, I can hear you. Do you have a camera available?
I do. Yes. Hold on. Can you see me now?
Yes, perfect. I see both of you.
Okay.
Can I please have you both raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear or affirm to tell the truth and nothing but the truth during this meeting today?
I do.
Yes. I do. And can you each please state your name for the court reporter?
My name is Mike Patel, Mayor Patel.
I'm Caitlin Rayner.
Perfect. Thank you. And as you're aware, we only have 4 board members today. Do you wish to proceed with the 4 board members or continue to another month when we have a 5-member quorum?
Please proceed.
We will proceed with 4. Have you reviewed the staff report associated with your case?
Yes.
Do you have any issues with me admitting exhibits 1 through 9?
Nope.
Exhibits 1 through 9 will be admitted. Now we'll turn it over to city staff to present the case.
Okay, good morning, Larissa Chomby, City Planning and Development. Let me share my screen. All right, can everyone see the presentation?
Yes.
Okay, as was previously mentioned, let me get it Sharing in full screen for you. 1 second. All right. Okay, so this is a variance up at 10,000 North Polo Drive. Is it changing screens for you all? No, it's not. Oh, it is? Okay.
Yes, you're
this,
good.
Sorry, this is the location of the subject property up in the Northland, south of the airport. Here is an overview of the site. It's located in a B3-3 zoning district. It previously received approval for a development plan for a hotel with 109 guest rooms. Okay. They are located along Northwest Tiffany Springs Parkway, and I'll change the slide for you to take a look. This green that you see to the north of the property is that parkway that's been established on the city's major street plan. Per the zoning and development code in section 32302-B, parking along the side of a building along a parkway, and I've highlighted the parkway in red, needs to be set back 10 feet from the front property line, behind the front building line. This building is currently 50 feet from the property line, which would require all the parking spaces to be located 60 feet from the property line, 10 feet behind that front building line. And the applicant has highlighted 11 parking spaces that would be affected by that requirement on the site plan. This is a complete variation from the development code because they are proposing 11 stalls within that front setback requirement. There is no substantial change to the character anticipated due to the fact that the rest of the properties surrounding the subject property are all commercial in nature and have large parking lots as well. The difficulty can be obviated by a change in design. During the development plan process, the applicant did go through a number of revisions to reduce the number of parking. This, what you're seeing today was the final iteration. However, they are still 50 stalls over what the development code requires for a hotel. So if they do reduce the number of parking spaces provided, the variance can be obviated based on the statement of hardship of practical difficulty. The proposed number of parking stalls is required for this hotel chain. And then here are just some pictures of the site. There's 2 accesses off of North Polo. And here's a look from Northwest Tiffany Springs Parkway and North Polo Drive. And a look, it is from I-29, it is raised above from that off-ramp. So there is quite a grade change on the back of the building. And I can answer any questions if you have them.
Board members, any questions for city staff? Seeing none, we will turn it over to the applicant. Why should we approve your request today?
Awesome. Thank you so
sorry.
much. You're good. So my name is Katie Rayner with Kinley Horn and Associates. We're located at 805 Pennsylvania Avenue here in KC-Mo. I'm here with our client today, Mike Patel of Marquee Hospitality. So I'll let Mike introduce himself before I expand a little bit on what was already said.
Hello, my name is Mike Patel. I am the developer and the operator. It is a Hilton Hotel, branded hotel we're going to bring to the site. The site has sat empty for a number of years, probably at least 30 years. So we're developing it, but also the restriction that's causing us on the hardship. We dedicated our portion of our land to the trail that's going in the Northland, which is actually causing us the hardship as well. And that's why we're asking for the variance. If it wasn't for the dedication of the land that we gave to the city for the trail, we wouldn't be needing this variance.
Yeah, to add a little bit upon that, since we started going through the process of getting this site entitled, we have reduced our site from 129 rooms down to 109 rooms. That was to accommodate that I-29 future city project, and as well as an existing water main on the west side of that site. So with these encumbrances, we have unfortunately had to take out some parking, which has meant that we fell below the standard hotel parking ratio. Most hotels generally look to have a 1-to-1 parking ratio, which is a little bit above what KCMO's code generally requires. The current plan is for 109 rooms. We, with the additional stalls in the setback, are at 91. So if we were to take those away, we would have to go down to 80 stalls for 109 rooms, which is a little bit less than ideal. So yeah, we are here today to request that variance to allow us to keep those 11 stalls. We're happy to be in front of you today. Appreciate your consideration and are happy to answer any questions you may have.
Thank you. Board members, any questions for the applicant? If not, I would entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion. On docket item 23, case 97, I recommend we approve the applicant's request in accordance with staff report and site plan.
I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a second. Anna, please call the roll. Anna, you
Oh
are
my gosh.
muted.
Yep, I am. I'm so sorry. Right?
Aye.
Hayes,
Aye.
Meyer,
Aye.
Mixdorf.
Aye. Your project is approved. Good luck.
All right,
Thank
thank you.
Anna, I would recommend that we take our morning break. Would it be acceptable for everyone to just do a brief 10-minute break at this time?
Sounds good.
10 minutes. All right, we will come back at 10:57. Do we have everybody back?
I'm here.
I'm here.
Okay. We have Anna back as well.
I'm here.
Alec, are you back?
Anna, Alec.
Yes, I'm here.
Perfect. And I just spoke with Tom. He is going to try to join some cases, but he will not be ready for at least this first one. I'm not sure about the second one. So hopefully he will join here shortly. With that, Anna, do you want to call the next case?
Docket item 24. This is case CD BZA 2024-70. This is a request to approve a variance to the size of an accessory structure in an R1.5 zoning district, plus any additional variances on about 42.7 acres, generally located at 9601 North Platte Purchase Drive. Alec Gustafson is staff planner associated with this case, and I do believe Sean is the applicant. Sean is connected.
See Sean. Anna, do we have anybody else wishing to testify?
I have
No one else has.
and Dave Parr in the room with me. So man,
So no, we have nobody else online raising their hand, Anna?
That is correct.
Perfect. All right, I will have all of you in the room. If you're wishing to speak today, please raise your right hand.
bring your right hand up.
Do you solemnly swear or affirm to tell the truth and nothing but the truth during this meeting today?
Yes. Yes.
Please each state your name for the court reporter.
Sean Duke with Snyder Associates.
Bill Mann.
David Parr.
And as you are aware, we currently only have 4 board members. We can either proceed now with 4 board members, or you can continue your case until we have 5 board members. What would you like to do?
We wish to proceed.
We will proceed with 4. Have you reviewed the staff report associated with your case?
Yes.
Do you have any issues with us admitting exhibits 1 through 9?
No.
Those will be admitted. We will turn it over to city staff for the presentation.
Okay. Let's see, let me share my screen for you real quick. All right, you guys can all see
Yes.
and hear.
Yes.
Okay. All right, so today we have docket item number 24, CD BZA 2024-70. This is located at 9601 North Platte Purchase Drive. The zoning district is R1.5, R7.5. On the specific spot where the variance will be. The summary request is for a variance to the height and location of an accessory structure. Here's the general location. It is in the Northland, near Platte Purchase. And here is the actual site. I've highlighted in yellow where the property lines actually are. However, in parcel viewer, when you go to the actual address of 9601 North Platte Purchase, it only pulls up the side parcel. This is due to the fact that these are in 2 separate counties. And this is important because we had some small disputes about the legal description and the property lines of the parcel initially, but this is all legally one property. It's just split via GIS into the 2 counties. So it looks like it's 2 parcels, multiple parcels, but it's actually one large legal description. So that's why I have it all highlighted. It is all zoned differently. R1.5 is where the barn is to go. R7.5 is also what it's zoned as. B32 is zoned R1.5 and more B32. Here is the property lines as provided by the applicant. And just for the sake of clarity, I have a timeline here to help us understand the time of this case, how it folded out. So in 2023, case CD CPC 2023-76 was approved, and this was a request to rezone the area of that parcel from R80 to R7.5, R1.5, and B32. And that pre-application was then held supposedly after, well, certainly after the barn had unfortunately burned down. The pre-application meeting was held in on April 18th, where we assumed a variance would be for in the R 1.5 section only, telling the applicant team to only get a new survey with accurate parcel lines. This is because of the minor dispute between the fact that the county parcels were not joined together. So we assumed it was only for the one parcel, and the applicant team submitted the full lot or the full site plan with all of the acres, all 320 of them. Applicant team sent site plans to the city with still non-accurate site plans. We had not discovered the error between the counties yet. And then the KCMO internet outage occurred on the 6th of May until the 21st. The applicant team was able to then upload their site plan for the first round of reviews and officially apply for the variance on the 22nd, the day after the outage occurred, or I guess we regained our power. The plan review fee was then not paid prior to the original hearing, which was scheduled for the month prior. I guess it would have been June 10th or July 10th, I guess. And then the second set of site plans were uploaded, the fee was paid, and we were able to docket the case for today. Here is the actual site. This is the barn with 82 feet by 120 feet. It is across the county line that originally was what tripped up the city with their original designation of where the property lines were. But after seeing legal descriptions and the official site plan, we understood that they're not crossing any parcel lines. This is completely on Domain's property. This is the height of the barn. It is standing at 26 feet 10 inches and still at 26 feet 10 inches. And then the variance, we are holding it to the R 1.5 standard, or just the residential standard for an accessory structure being 10 feet in height. So it's a complete the first variance, I guess, is the complete deviation from the lot and building standards for accessory structures in a residential district to allow an accessory structure in the front yard of the property. Accessory structure codes for residential districts require that accessory buildings be in the rear yard of a property. So this being in front of the home, the residence, would be a complete deviation. This would not be a substantial change to the neighborhood, considering it is basically agricultural land, even though it's zoned residential. And a change of design by placing the barn in the rear yard could obviate the difficulty. And that I will leave the applicant to speak on that. And then the second variance is for the height of the accessory structure. Like I said before, the residential accessory structure lot and building standards require that an accessory structure be 10 feet in height in a residential zoning district. This is 26 feet 10 inches. So the variance is 16 feet 10 inches. This is a 168 increase to the height of an accessory structure. And a substantial change to the neighborhood is not anticipated, and I will leave it up to the applicant to discuss the difficulty. And if you don't have any questions, I'm finished with my staff report, and I'm happy to respond and answer questions.
Alec, can you go back to the aerial view?
Yes. You can see this?
Yeah, I can see your screen.
Good.
I don't see that. I just see that. There we go. Okay, so the nearest property looks like on that northwest corner a ways up on the west there, but are there any other properties adjacent to them on the south? I can't quite see in parcel viewer.
There, I believe, is maybe a farmstead, but there are not any developments south of this lot.
Board members, any other questions for city staff? If not, I'll turn over to the applicant. Why should we approve your request today?
Good morning. I'm Sean with Snyder Associates, here with Bill and Dave. basically what we're trying to do is put the barn back where it was at before. This is an operating farm still. The property has been rezoned in anticipation of future development, as you know, this area is well into the part of town that's growing. Someday it will grow and change to that, but there's no plans of that happening right now. We're looking basically to replace the building that burned down, replace a new barn in that same location. The size is a little different just based on the fact that these are standard size barns now. The barn was originally built back in the early 80s. The construction and the shape has just changed a little bit. So we put this building, we put back into that same spot. Height difference is basically because we need that height for the farm equipment. We can't have a 10-foot tall if it's not a car garage. This is for farming operations. We could move the building as far as the front setback. We're unfortunately on a corner lot. That's why we're triggered by the front setback, the house. And the other office building is closer to plat purchase than the barn. But as you go to the south there for 96, the barn's a little closer. It's in front of the house. If we move the barn to the north to try to get it behind it, it's in the middle of the field, and we start taking away cropland, and it makes all the existing infrastructure around the barn not feasible to be used. So we've already set it up. The silos are just already to the south. They're there on the existing barn site. So it really becomes, this is the best way to place it back in the same spot to keep the farming operations going as it is. Bill farms a lot of land. As you can see, this property is very large farmland. That's what it is right now. 96th Street is cut through, or Tiffany Springs Parkway is cut through the property. And as it grows through there, he's, allowed that to go through his property. But as for now, it's still just a farm. That's what we're trying to just put back what burned down. I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Have you received any comments from your neighbors?
No, I'm not aware of any comments we've received from the neighbors. Okay. The city owns a park across the street pretty much from us. Kind of to the north, northwest, and there's a lot of farmland just around us basically.
Okay. Board members, any questions of the applicant or of city staff? If not, I would entertain a motion.
I'd like to make a motion. Docket item 20, where are we at? 25? No, 24, case 70. I recommend we approve the applicant's request in accordance with staff report and site plan.
I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a second. Anna, please call the roll.
Wright,
Aye.
Hayes,
Aye.
Meyer,
Aye.
Mixdorf.
Aye. Your project is approved. Good luck.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Anna, please call the next case.
Docket item number 25. This is case CD BZA 2024-92. This is a request to approve a variance to the residential vehicular standards to permit a gravel driveway plus any other needed variances in an R7.5 zoning district on about 7.77 acres, generally located at 11205 Northeast Ryan King Road. Stephanie Saldari is the staff planner associated with this case. I do see the property owner online. I'm admitting Kelly. There's also another phone number raising their hand.
Kelly, do you have a camera? And can you unmute? There you are. Perfect. I see you. And then the individual calling in by phone, can you unmute as well? The phone number ending in 5119. If you would like to provide testimony on this case.
It might be Kelly.
Oh, might
I
be-
think
okay.
I think her computer audio microphone doesn't
Okay.
work.
Kelly, can you unmute your phone then? So we don't hear you. I do not hear you through the phone. It still shows that you are muted.
What is the Anna, what is the
There we
what
go.
keys you press?
Yes, we
Oh,
can hear you.
there we go.
Perfect. Thank you. All right. Kelly, can I have you raise your right hand?
Yes.
Do you solemnly swear or affirm to tell the truth and nothing but the truth during this meeting today?
Yes.
Can you please state your name for the court reporter?
Kelly Dennis.
Thank you. And as you are aware, we currently only have 4 board members. You can either proceed with 4 board members to hear your case today, or we can continue until we have 5 board members. What would you like to do?
I'd like to proceed.
We will proceed with 4 board members. Have you received or reviewed the case, the staff report associated with your case?
Yes, I have.
And do you have any issues admitting exhibits 1 through 9?
No.
Exhibits 1 through 9 will be admitted. Anna, is there any other public testimony that has come up? Or anybody raising their hand?
No one else has raised their hand.
All right, we'll turn it over to the staff planner for the presentation.
All right, we got docket number 25, CDBCA 2024-92, located on 11205 Northeast Ryan King Road, zone R-7.5, and the applicant is seeking approval of a variance to the residential vehicular standards to permit a gravel driveway on the subject site. All right, so the site is up in the northeast portion of Kansas City. Highlighted in yellow is the current site with the pond in the middle. So this is the site plan. So this, as you can see here, there is the proposed concrete drive that the applicant or property owner would like to have be gravel. It's about 675 feet long. This is an aerial image of the site. The yellow line represents that driveway. Here are some pictures of the lot since it remains vacant. And then, so this variance request is to permit a gravel driveway on the subject site. This would be a complete deviation. A change to the character of the neighborhood is not anticipated since all the surrounding properties are zoned R80 and also have a long gravel driveway. The difficulty could be obviated if the house is pushed closer to the front of the property, which would make the paved driveway more feasible. And then this were provided by the property owner. These are neighboring driveways. And that concludes my presentation.
Thank you, Stephanie. Kelly, I appreciate you providing images. Those are very valuable when we make our determinations. Board members, any other questions for city staff? If not, Kelly, why should we approve your request today?
First of all, let me thank you all for taking this on today. Let me start by saying I bought this land because my daughter lives on 4 acres just a driveway away. And I agreed to buy the land in July of 2023, but the owner of all the land was originally going to build 43 homes on these 20 acres. And he had it approved by the city, and then he proceeded to sell me me to buy the lot. But come to find out, after 7 months of no action with the city that he was blaming on them, I got a hold of Obaji, or I think his name was Obaji, and he was telling me that they hadn't deleted the old 43 home program. That's why it wasn't proceeding. So I told them that, and then it finally got going. So it was him for the rezoning part. Let's see here. So then they proceeded to subdivide the 3 lots. Then it took another month to get approval, which was fine. And then I fell under the city energy plan. So I had to go back and hire the architect, energy consultant, and engineer. That took some more time. And then the city, I found that the city at that time was requiring a cement or asphalt driveway. So that really put a monkey wrench in it because I had not planned on that at all. Mm-hmm. And then the city was hacked, so we resubmitted, and then the city was hacked. Yeah, and everyone here, 95% of people of the acreages here have gravel driveways between 108th and 291.
Okay, so
So,
since the majority of neighbors have gravel driveways, I assume they are in support of you also creating another gravel driveway in this area, or have no opposition to this approach?
My daughter has no opposition. She's the only one that I talked to.
Board members, any other questions for the applicant? This is
Can I provide some quick clarity? The
Yeah.
reason why those other driveways are gravel is because they're zoned R80, which is permitted. For the first 25 feet still has to be paved, and then the rest can be gravel, whereas R7.5 does not have that same allotment.
correct. And Kelly, you would still plan to have that first, was you said 25 feet on it would still be paved, and then you would proceed to gravel after that? Is that the intent?
If that's what's required, I didn't know the exact requirements, yes.
For an R80 zoned district, residential driveways and parking spaces can be gravel if the first 25 feet connecting to the street is paved. But gravel driveways are not permitted at all in the R7.5 zoning district, which this property is zoned.
Correct. Stephanie, can you bring up the aerial plan again?
Yes.
And if I can, I think that was only because, quite frankly, he didn't know what he was doing on the 43 homes, because he never got it removed before he proceeded to approve get these three approved. So I think in that whole mix up that he didn't change it to R80, because my daughter is R80, right? That house right south of where my property is, next to the 3 trees.
And
the
what
guy in the back. Go ahead.
No, go proceed.
The part right there is the owner of all this land. So 4 or 5 years ago, he sold my daughter their 4 acres south of me. And then he was going to put 43 homes on those 3 acres, north, east, and east. He was going to he divided those up into 3, but he never got removal from the city. So I just think in the mix up of all that, it just got lost in the 7.5. Because she's R8.
Okay. Would your intent to be putting down the clean gravel so there would be no dust coming up from your gravel driveway to the adjacent neighbors to your north?
Yes.
Okay. I think you can stop sharing your screen, Stephanie. Thank you.
Oh, yeah.
Board members, any other questions? If not, I would entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion on docket number 25 that we approve the variance in accordance with the staff report.
Would you require the first 25 feet to be paved?
Yes, I'm sorry. In addition to the first 25 feet of the driveway from the street to the property is paved.
I have a motion. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
I have a second. Anna, please call the roll.
Hayes, was that you for the second?
No, that
It
was
was
Mike.
Meyer.
That was Meyer. My apologies. Right?
Aye.
Hayes,
Aye.
Meyer,
Aye.
Mixfield.
Aye. Your project is approved. Good luck.
Thank you.
Anna, I think we're to the last case.
You sure are. Docket item 27, this case CD BZA 2024-90. This is a request to approve a variance to the accessory structure standards in an R7.5 zoning district to permit a pool to be within 10 feet of the rear setback and to be within 10 feet of the primary structure, plus any additional variances on about 0.24 acres, generally located at 9501 Northeast 92nd Street. Connor Tomlin is the staff planner associated with this case. And I see the applicant, Dallas, is on. Dallas is connected.
Dallas, do you have a camera you can turn on? You are also muted, Dallas. There you are. Perfect. Can I have you raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear or affirm to tell the truth and nothing but the truth during this meeting today?
I do.
Please state your name for the court reporter.
Dallas Truex.
And as you're aware, we only have 4 board members present. You can proceed to hear your case with 4 board members, or we can continue your case once we have 5. How would you like to proceed?
Proceed, please.
We'll proceed with 4 board members. Have you reviewed the staff report associated with your case?
Yes.
Do you have any issues with me admitting exhibits 1 through 9?
No.
Those are now admitted. Anna, is there any public testimony?
No one else has raised their hand on Zoom.
All right, we'll turn it over to city staff for the presentation.
All right. One thing I did want to mention is after the staff report was completed, I had received something that needs to be included as an additional exhibit from the Copperleaf HOA. It was their like rules and regulations for their HOA. They requested that those be included, but as you all are aware that HOA rules and regulations are not enforceable by the city. However, they do ask that that be included as an additional exhibit.
I'll admit that as exhibit 10. Is this included in your presentation then, or is it on Compass that we need to access it from there?
It is on Compass. It was uploaded recently.
Perfect.
Okay, so moving on to the presentation. You can see my screen, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Docket 27, CD BZA 2024-00090, located at 9501 Northeast 92nd Street in an R75 district. The applicant is seeking approval of an accessory structure setback standards. This is the general location of the site. This is the site plan. This is a little more zoomed in so you can see those numbers. What's being requested here is the in-ground swimming pool variance to the rear property line distance, as well as the distance between the swimming pool and the primary structure. Variance request A is a variance of 5 feet to the minimum separation of an accessory structure from the primary structure to permit that separation distance to be 5 feet on the subject site. A substantial change to the character of the neighborhood is not anticipated. Homes in this area have minimal workable space in the rear yard. Other homes in this area have similar pools in the rear yard, some with variances, some without, from what I was able to see. The difficulty cannot be obviated with a change of design. No matter the placement of the pool, a variance will be required on this property. Variance request B is a variance of 5 feet to the minimum setback to the rear property line to permit that setback to be 5 feet. A substantial change to the character of the neighborhood is not anticipated. Same reason before, is that there's minimal workable space. A difficulty cannot be obviated with a change of design. And that concludes my presentation.
Thank you, Connor. Can you bring up the aerial view again?
Yes, give me just a moment. And you'll see there, behind these homes, there is that kind of open green space that they cannot build into.
Okay, thank you. Board members, any questions for Connor? If not, Dallas, why should we approve your request today?
Well, I think precedent has been set in this neighborhood. We also have done the same thing with another street or a house down the road. We've tried to make this pool as small as possible to still make it a swimming pool. We've gone to a 14-foot wide pool, which is small. The backyard is smaller, but it's not going to be backing up to someone else's other residence here. So we think this is a good opportunity to have a variance waived.
Board members, any other questions for the applicant? This doesn't seem to be out of character with the other pools in the neighborhood, and you do have a big space behind you.
Yeah.
Did the HOA reaching out to attach the bylaws, or was there a concern by the HOA that you're aware of regarding this, or?
So
I believe. Oh, go ahead.
I'm sorry. Go right ahead.
I just believe they're concerned about the green space behind the back property line. and protecting that. The pool would not affect any of that. I'm not sure what other arguments they may have had. Once we go and get the permit, then it'll be our homeowner's responsibility to work with the HOA and make sure that we meet those standards.
And have you received any other support or opposition from neighbors?
No.
Any other questions, board members? If not, I would entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion. Docket item 27, case 90. Recommend that we approve the applicant's request in accordance with site plan and staff report.
I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a second. Anna, please call the roll.
Wright,
Aye.
Hayes,
Aye.
Meyer,
Aye.
Nixdorf.
Aye. Your project is approved. Good luck.
Thank you.
I believe we have reached the end of our docket.
That's it.
All right. Thank you, everyone.
Thanks, guys. Have a good
Appreciate your
weekend.
time today.
Have a good
Have a good one.
weekend.